Hello, fellas and fellerities, smiling Sam Albee here. Hey, I saw this post earlier today talking about Shawn Strickland's training habits. Now, I understand why some people might be thinking that is what he does. All he does is spar, because it is most of what he does. But it is not all that he does. He hits mitts constantly. And I wanted to set the record straight. This is about Shawn Strickland's training.
So I got this comment basically saying I'm underestimating the programs of South Africa and just how good Dricus Du Duplessis is. And I think you guys, or at least a few of you, are misunderstanding why I'm picking Strickland here. Let me make something perfectly clear here. Dricus Du Duplessis is a good fighter. But Strickland, it makes absolutely no sense for him to be as good as he is. Like, understand, I'm not surprised that the odds are in favor of Dricus. Because you look at Strickland and you look at Dricus, take that to your average MMA fan, they're going to choose the dude who looks more professional. Like, I'm aware this man looks more like a fighter than this man. This man also would definitely kill somebody. Like, I'm going to be brutally honest with you. Strickland just shouldn't be as good as he is. This is a guy for the majority of his career was a journeyman. He didn't do well at 170, fought Kamaru Usman, got outstruck by Kamaru. He got outstruck by Kamaru Usman. Gets himself into a motorcycle accident, destroys his knee, turning him into what is our modern incarnation of Strickland. Understand that a lot of the reason that his posture is so high is because he can't bend his knees as much as he used to. Look at Strickland before the motorcycle accident, and now it is actually it's crazy noticeable what happened. So with this knowledge, logically speaking, Strickland should get absolutely worked by anybody that has a slight wrestling base, right? No. Fights people that are bigger than Kamaru Usman and outstrikes them. Spars more than any other fighter on the roster but gets hit the least. Like, understand that is like so anti what we think training should be. Like, it is kind of a crazy thing that just always spar. Because you have people that are taking the zero spar route. Like, they'll hit mitts, but they're not really sparring. Strickland's the exact opposite. Doesn't do any really strength and conditioning, doesn't do really any pad work, but spars nonstop. And there's no downside. All I'm really saying is I understand Dricus Du Duplessis probably is like the coolest dude, most professional. He seems like a cool dude down in South Africa. And he probably is super fit by there. All I'm saying is Strickland is an enigma in MMA because logically speaking, he should not be this good.
All right, that's slightly better. So I'm also in Tennessee right now. We got hit by, 6 inches of snow, which will close down the state for the next 3 or 4 days. They closed schools on Wednesday for a snowstorm that came in on Sunday. It's funny. A special shout out, Riz Pharma. Look what I got. I got a microphone, guys. If I'm sounding even prettier than before, it's because of this. Riz Pharma helped me out. They bought me a couple new computer and video photography type things. I've got some big things coming up, and as soon as this hand is healed, I'll be traveling the world sparring with people, and you're going to see it all. I'm really looking forward to what I'm about to do with them. Anyways, back to Shawn Strickland. Shawn Strickland spars a lot. He has claimed that, and I agree with it. I think sparring is hands down the most important thing you can do. It truly is. Jiu-jitsu people do it similarly. They roll all the time. Yes, you'll learn your technique for 15 minutes, and then you roll for an hour and a half. Doing is far more important than not doing, than learning about. You learn the basic, you try and drill the basic a little bit, and then you go hard. That is Shawn Strickland. That is one of the reasons his cardio is as good as it is. Now, things I'm arguing about with this video there. Also, I'm in my garage. My garage has no heat. I'm freezing. It's so cold. But I need to tell you guys this. I needed to correct this assumption from that video that we just watched. Shawn Strickland hits mitts all the time. Every time I go out and spar with him and work with him, it is primarily sparring, but he has these mitt holders. And he has 3 or 4 different mitt holders who he said, hey, you got to work with this guy. And he makes sure dude's paid for me to hit mitts with all of his trainers. It's funny. It's like his new toy. He says, hey, you got to try this guy out. He holds, and then he describes the guy real well. Actually, one of his oldest father figures training coaches is Alex Zarate, and he's been a coach of mine now for about 5 or 6 years. He's been with Shawn for, I don't know, 15 years, and Shawn and I have been buddies for about 10 years. So we've been together a long time, but Shawn hits mitts all the time. He does it as more or less a warm-up. I mean, he doesn't hit the bag because hitting the bag is really boring, but he will go and hit mitts. He will set up, hey, can I do it right after class or right before class? He hits mitts. And it's not a casual, all right, jab, jab, cross. He's like sparring the mid-holder, but doing what the mid-holder says for the most part. Boom, 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 hold this. And there's not even a lot of talking about what he wants to accomplish or what's going to be done or what to throw. He gets such a good feel for all of his mid-holders. He knows what the mid-holder's doing and when he's trying to do it. And he picks his mid-holders. He's worked with a lot, and he hates some of them. He loves a lot of them. He loves the ones he works with. Line number one, Shawn hits a lot of mitts. Cardio! It's true. Shawn does not do cardio. He does not get on a treadmill, does not get on a bike, does not do any of that stuff. He does spar for cardio. Whether it's grappling or jiu-jitsu, if he's doing jiu-jitsu, it's with gloves on. It's like, I want to be able to hit you. I want to be able to do that. And it is the best way to do cardio is sparring. You have to train, in the fire. You have to be made in the fire. If you're just doing cardio outside, it gets rough. Now, I've always been a big fan of doing cardio outside because it's hard for me to find enough training partners that can really push my pace. And when I do, when I'm out there working with Chris Curtis, Shawn Strickland, Jared Vandera, Dan Henderson, all those guys, I actually do my cardio first. I'll do my cardio at 8 a.m. I'll start with them at 9:30 a.m. It'll take me 45 minutes to get done. I'll get to rest, relax a little bit, eat some protein, and then I'll get back out there. Shawn Strickland, he just spars, but he spars all the time. So that was true. Now, as far as Shawn being outstruck by Usman, he was kinda. Shawn was a huge 170er, the biggest 170er. He would walk around 210, 215, cut to 170. That's what he wanted to do. He had a lot of fights at 85 before he did that, but he wanted to be a bigger guy. He went down there. When fighting Usman, I truly don't believe it's that he got outstruck. It's that he got his eye broken immediately. Early in the first round, he went out there and had his orbital bone broken. And they said afterwards, yeah, well, what happened is you broke the orbital, and one of the nerves in your eye, in your optic center, slid down into the crack, into the fracture. And yeah, you were in a lot of pain. The doctors were very impressed that he continued fighting. He did. He fought 3 rounds with Kamaru Usman, but early in the fight, he got an eye socket broken. Let's see, who's the other one? Ponzinibbio, is that the guy? Spinning whatever kick. They don't land, but when they land, they kill people. And so he got spinning heel kick that way. And then Pereira just caught him with a hell of a hook. I've caught Shawn with a hell of a hook every now and then, but it's not often. Pereira just got it. He landed it the right way. He kind of got Shawn fainting a little bit. Shawn likes to counter. He caught Shawn while fainting. Shawn likes to block out as opposed to the in. Or as opposed to the Sam Alvey way, just take it and give back. Dan Henderson once told me, he said, yeah, I'm usually okay, trading punch for punch because I'll usually give back than I get. I said, yeah, okay, I can understand that. Henderson and I have some similarities. I've always been too willing to take a punch. I try not to, but too willing to. But when I do block, it's in close. And then return fire for me. Shawn, he got hit. It happens. He was winning until that point. Now, getting out wrestled point. This is something I hear all the time. Shawn Strickland will get out wrestled. Shawn Strickland, years ago, Joe Fijiao came to town. He is a D2 All-American National Champion wrestler. He's the best D2 wrestler in all time. We know him because our friend Dave Herman, who trained at Team Quest, came out to Team Quest for years and years and years and years, and then eventually moved away. Now I think he lives in, so somewhere with a P. He lives in one of those P countries with his family. He has a bunch of kids now. It's really surprising the direction his life turned. But good for Dave. Anyways, Joe came out. Joe, best wrestler I've probably ever worked with outside of Dan Henderson. Different style. He would out wrestle Shawn Strickland, as he should. So you know what Shawn did? He took it as a personal challenge, and for years he wrestled. He only found the best wrestlers he could. He only wrestled jiu-jitsu guys. He only did wrestling 4 years, which is around the time he started saying jiu-jitsu doesn't work. Jiu-jitsu's bullshit. Jiu-jitsu's, it's gay. His words, not mine, don't cancel it. That's what Shawn would do. He just wrestled until Joe Fischel couldn't out-wrestle anymore. Until D1 All-Americans couldn't out-wrestle him anymore. At least not with MMA gloves on. Shawn Strickland took it as a personal challenge that he was getting out-wrestled, and he returned fire. He will not get out-wrestled. Now, something Shawn does that I taught him, and he made fun of me at first, so, Shawn, you learn the older you get. When I get taken down, I give up my back, because everybody goes for the rear naked choke. As long as you can defend the rear naked choke, who cares if they go for it? I am very good at defending the rear naked choke. I'm less good at defending it when I'm getting punched in the face and stuff, but it goes on. Honest to God, they go for the rear naked choke. You know how you defend it? Stand the hell up. Defend your neck, stand up. Especially with the cage there, you can do that. So I help Shawn with that part. Watch DDP rear naked choke him. Oh, damn it. I'll take the video down. But Shawn's wrestling is, he doesn't like doing it because it's boring. Any part of an MMA fight that is boring is when it's on the ground. I love wrestling, I love jiu-jitsu, but when the fight hits the ground, that is the boring part of any fight. Shawn Strickland don't do that. Shawn Strickland wants to fight. He wants the real adrenaline junkie that he is. He wants to hit fools in the face. He wants to get in there and punish somebody. So if he is on top of DDP or whoever, he's going to try and hit him. He's not going to try and submit him. So I taught him to give up your back and stand up. He taught me, don't go for a rear naked choke, go for a face crank. Just crank the face, and that'll solve everything. It's Shawn's rule. Go for the face crank, and they'll give you the neck, and then you just keep face cranking. I love that about it. And I've stolen. I face crank everyone. Face cranks and wrist locks. That's my jiu-jitsu game. And so that's a couple things about Shawn. His wrestling is woefully underrated. His conditioning is not just because of mitts. It's because of, not just because of sparring. It is because of hard sparring, soft sparring, and mitt holding. Shawn Strickland's jiu-jitsu, which we may have never seen. He's rolled with some of the best. He has been able to roll with, if y'all know Vinny Megalesh, he's been able to roll with Vinny. He's never beaten Vinny, but he's been able to competitively roll with him. He has been able to roll with some of the best jiu-jitsu black belts in the world, because that's who Shawn is. That's how good Shawn is at that. So I don't think DDP is better at Shawn anywhere. Except he does hit hard and hard. Shawn is not a power puncher. Shawn is a volume puncher, Michael Bisping kind of puncher. He can knock people out, but his goal is not to knock people out. His goal is to just beat the brakes off them until they fall over and then finish them off. TKO Shawn. So Shawn is better everywhere than DDP. I think he is going to beat DDP because DDP has nothing for Shawn. Like he except a hard punch. If he lands that hard punch round one, fantastic. There's talks of DDP having great conditioning in South Africa. Also, nothing for Shawn. Great conditioning means nothing when somebody's punching you in the face. That sounds simple and sounds like I'm exaggerating, but no, true to God. You can have great conditioning, but when somebody's in there walking you down, you are now backing up. Backing up is a way people do not condition. They don't condition to back up. Now you're backing up and getting hit in the face. You don't condition to back up and getting hit in the face. You condition your lungs, that'll work. But as soon as Shawn can disrupt your breathing pattern, which is what making you back up and punching in the face will do, as soon as he can disrupt that breathing pattern, you get tired way more than you should. I swear to you, I have some of the best cardio in the UFC history. I don't get tired. I've been able to spar everyone for 4 rounds, 5 rounds, 6. I will spar until they fall over. I do not get tired. Shawn Strickland has this way of making me tired. I'm great for 3 rounds. Round 4 and 5 is his round. It's me now, sucking, just trying to catch my breath. And I have good conditioning. Dynamic fitness, baby. All right, 2 more points. One, Strickland isn't a journeyman. He's just been fighting for a long time, fighting everyone. He's only had, 3 losses in the UFC? Cannonier doesn't count. Cannonier was kind of a garbage fight. It was a boring fight. He's my buddy. I watched all of it, but it was boring, and I thought Shawn won. So I'm not going to count Cannonier as a journeyman kind of thing. Shawn has been steadily working his way up the rankings. I mean, from a long time ago, he's been working his way up. He lost to Kamaru Usman. Who cares? I mean, it's Kamaru, one of the greatest welterweights that's ever been. Though I do still put GSP above him. The knee injury thing. To my knowledge, Shawn Strickland never went to rehab. Shawn Strickland started sparring. He just started, he braced it up. And actually, I would spar with him. Say, hey, just no leg kicks today. So, and so we would spar. I don't believe it affected his posture in any way. Maybe I just didn't notice it, but he just sparred on it. He just got back and didn't waste much time worrying about what was hurt or what was not hurt. So there's that. And the motorcycle. I went and saw him a day after. I don't even know if he remembers this because he was out of it. Chris Curtis and I went to see him a day after. We got a text from Alex Zarate, his main coach for years now. Said, hey, Shawn is in a bad way. I said, oh God. So Chris Curtis and I went. Chris stayed in the car. Chris didn't want to go in and see his buddy like that. And at the time, Shawn and I were better friends than Curtis and he was. They were training partners. Shawn and I were friends. Went in there, and all his family was around there, and I remember just seeing him. It's like, good God, he's the super Shawn. He's not supposed to be hurt like this. And I remember making just a stupid joke, and I don't know why. It just didn't come out right. It was something about, man, I'm really surprised. I feel so bad for you. It was something like that. He's all right, no, thanks, bro. And everyone else, his family and friends and brother-in-law, they all kind of chuckled along with me. They knew what I was trying to say. It just came out wrong. And Shawn was all not in a good place at the time, so he didn't notice one or another. But he was ready for me not to be in there anymore. After, I don't know, 6 minutes and 7 minutes of checking in on him, he's all right, Sam. We'll see you around. See, I'll keep you posted. I said, okay, I'll see you later, buddy. I always remember. I don't know why I said that. I don't know, but I did. And so I don't agree with him being a journeyman. He is the greatest middleweight in the world right now because he spars like that. Anyone except Max Holloway that says they don't spar much is doing it wrong. I don't understand Max Holloway's success, but it is. You have to spar. You have to be forged in fire. You have to be. And Shawn Strickland is more than anyone else. It might be my biggest regret as a fighter is I didn't travel more to spar more. I sparred a lot. Dan Henderson's gym, we sparred a ton, but I sparred around the same guys all the time. Shawn, he left Team Quest and went to Kings. He went to San Diego. He went to Las Vegas. He flew out and sparred with Pereira. Shawn traveled to spar his entire career. So it is no surprise to me that he is this good. He has spent every moment of his life training to fight. He has spent every moment of his life getting better, trying to kill somebody, trying to control his urge to kill somebody. That's Shawn Strickland. That's a list of reasons why I know he will be the middleweight champion in a little more than a week from now. A little more than a week from now. No, a little less from a week. What day is today? A little less than a week from now. Anyways, you know what I'm talking about. Thanks for watching. Tag a friend. Bet on Shawn. If he's the underdog, you guys will make some money because all DDP has is one big punch that needs to land.